Hey everyone, this time on Tim Talks Audio, we have a question coming straight from Facebook. Sibinello from the Home Studio Recording Group on Facebook asked for a tutorial on convolution reverbs and explaining what they are and how to use them. So, let's dive into it and take a look at what a convolution reverb is. A convolution reverb will process your signal with the sound of a real or virtual space. Unlike your stock reverb plugin, which uses an algorithmic process to create that reverb, a convolution reverb uses the sound of an actual space and its acoustic properties for your signal. The way to capture that space is by use of an impulse response. An impulse is a broadband sound spike that is very short but covers a broad spectrum of frequencies, so that when it's in an acoustic space, all of the frequencies will cause that space to reverberate. Examples are popping a balloon or using a starter pistol when you have the permission to do so. Another way is by using a small snippet of white noise pumped through a speaker system into that space. Throughout these spaces, you'll place microphones to then capture the natural sound of that space and its acoustic properties. You would then use any convolution reverb plugin to then put that impulse in and affect your sound. Inside Studio One Pro is the Open Air plugin. Some third-party convolution reverb plugins include the Waves IR1 or Audio Ease's Altiverb. Some of the controls you'll see on any convolution reverb is the ability to change the blend of the early reflections and the late reflections within that reverb. You can also modify the envelope of the reverb and the early reflection to late reflection crossover and the amount of time it takes to get from one to the other. Let's take a look at what it'll actually do. Here I have an acoustic guitar, and it sounds like this on its own. Pretty straightforward. Sounds like an acoustic guitar. Now we'll start going through some presets inside Open Air to show you some of the sampled location sounds that it has. I've loaded up an impulse of the Taj Mahal for this acoustic guitar. Now let's take a listen to what it sounds like. In this preset, we can see that the reverb tail length is set to almost 18 seconds. That's why if we hit just a fast instance of this acoustic guitar, it goes on for a long time. One of the good things about a convolution reverb is you can actually adjust the length of your tail to suit your song or the sound you're going for, dropping it down from a 17-second tail to a 3-second tail. Some of the practical uses of convolution reverb are things like room matching when you're doing voiceover work or location recordings for films and post work. You can get an impulse of the space where the scene was shot and reuse that later on in your ADR recording or your automated or automatic dialogue replacement recordings. You can also use impulses of your own spaces to recreate them later. Another thing that has become far more common these days, especially in heavy music genres, is creating impulse responses of guitar cabinets. These are used in conjunction with amp simulators to give you the sound of that amp going through that speaker, which you may not own either of. And one more thing you can do with a convolution reverb is not add in an impulse of an acoustical space, but use any sound to create your own custom sound-designed reverb. I pulled some vocals from the same song that I took this acoustic guitar from, and I'm going to load them in right now. Let's take a listen to this custom reverb that I just made using a vocal line on my acoustic guitar. This is a reverb that you cannot create with any algorithmic plugin. It's processing this acoustic guitar signal using that vocal line. And because I pulled this vocal line from the same song that I pulled the guitar from, they are already in key and will harmonize with each other within my mix. That's all for now. If you found anything informative, please like and share this video. If you have a question, please leave it in a comment and I'll answer it in a future video. Thanks for watching.